And now we will have meditation music by Jim.
That was awesome. Thank you so much for having me here. I apologize, I had a little rough voice this morning, but here's a meditation, since I'm going to be talking, one of the two topics today is going to be forgiveness. And so this meditation is on forgiveness. It's very simple. And I want you to really, it'd probably be a good idea to close your eyes and just listen to this and repeat it in your mind. Really absorb this. Can you imagine how beautiful those you forgive will look to you? In no fantasy have you ever seen anything so lovely. Nothing you see here, sleeping or waking, comes near to such loveliness, and nothing will you value like unto this, nor hold so dear. Hold that in your mind. Everything you know, every person, every grudge you ever had is gone. Can you imagine how beautiful those you forgive will look to you? Thank you so much. Rare is it that we get a chance, an opportunity, even just to hold in our mind. Everyone and everything is forgiven, and how beautiful they look. Thank you.
Every day, ooh. every day grateful. I'm every day grateful. I'm every day grateful. Grateful for every day. I'm every day grateful. I'm every day grateful. I'm every day grateful. Grateful for every day. For the sun in the morning, the moon in the night. Grateful for every day. For all the beautiful souls that have touched my life. Every day. For the music we make, for the love that we know. For the chances we're given each day to grow. I'm every day grateful. I'm every day grateful. I'm every day grateful. Grateful for every day. I'm every day grateful. Each and every day grateful. I'm every day grateful. Grateful for every day. Yeah. I've come to enjoy the skin I'm in. I've found a love that's from within, yeah. And I've got to relish every morsel, every bite of this life. It's a beautiful life. I'm every day grateful. I'm every day grateful. I'm every day grateful. Grateful for every day. I'm every day grateful. I'm every day grateful. I'm every day grateful. Grateful for every day. I'm every day grateful. I'm every day grateful. I'm every day grateful. Grateful for every day. I'm every day grateful. Each and every day grateful. I'm every day grateful. Grateful for every day. Whatever comes my way, I'm grateful for every day. Grateful for every day. Grateful for every day. Grateful for every
Let's sing that chorus once or twice. I'm every day grateful. I'm every day grateful. I'm every day grateful. Grateful for every day. I'm every day grateful. I'm every day grateful. I'm every day grateful. Grateful for every day. No piano now. I'm every day grateful. I'm every day grateful. I'm every day grateful. Grateful for every day.
Wow, that was great. Thank you, Jim. That was great. And thank you, Jim put a lot of work into putting this video together. And that lady really is amazing. Mira Mazoff, if you get a chance to look her up. She's also in a band called Cura, C-U-R-A, the word twice. But my name's Karl Gruber, and wow, talk about being out of my comfort zone. Wasn't I just an Ohio State hippie standing on the corner of 15th and High a couple years ago saying, "Far out, man, the Allman Brothers are playing at the Agora." For those of you old enough, you know that the Agora, the Newport used to be called the Agora. But fast forward at warp speed, now here I stand here before you in this beautiful beautiful church. And you know, I was a professional radio disc jockey for 20 years, like our friend Jim here, who's an amazing on-air personality on WCBE and a musician. You'd think I'd be good at ad-libbing, but no. I've always had scripts doing commercials and stuff, so if you bear with me, I'll try not to sound too zombie-ish reading this off the script. But what I would like to talk to you about is something that we all too often take for granted. Something I feel truly needs to be understood and implemented in all of our lives. Two topics that are symbiotically intertwined: gratitude and forgiveness. And of course, how appropriate right after Thanksgiving. Two topics that are of such importance to the overall quality of our life that we need to take a closer look at them: gratitude and forgiveness. So let's take a look first at gratitude. Now, did you know that simply by appreciating what you already have, you are sending a request to the universe to bring even more? Kind of like the song we sang. It is a universal, a spiritual law that which you give is immediately returned to you. As your appreciation and gratitude increases, you'll start to notice and do more things you enjoy. You tend to stop complaining about things. You also notice that your vibrational energy of your being will lift up on its own, simply because you're grateful, and you'll start to appreciate even the smallest things in your life. Now, being in a place of gratitude brings us healing and happiness, and it helps us remember our wholeness. Gratitude is a result of remembering the truth about yourself and others. It helps bring us back to sanity and connect to our inner wisdom, our inner divine wisdom. Practicing gratitude accelerates our awakening and enables peace, joy, and love to come back into our awareness. Who doesn't want that? Why is this? Well, in our world where quantum physics has literally merged with spiritual wisdom of the ages and understanding that everything is connected, or as science calls it, the field. Spiritual teachers and now science know that there is no separation of anything. There's only the unity of all that is. Now, this is a big eye-opener once you understand this, because then you understand how intrinsically you are connected to everything else. There is no separation. Now, this helps explain the teaching: as you give, so too shall you receive. There's no exception to this, and of course, this extends to being grateful. And as you give and express gratitude for all the good, abundant, healthy, wealthy, joyful, and loving things in your life, the universe, all that is, God, gives it right back to you, sometimes 100-fold of what you gave, which I think is absolutely beautiful. And there are millions of examples of that. Now, I have a very good friend who's now in her 40s, but when she was a young woman fresh out of an abusive marriage, she found herself homeless and living in her car with nothing but her cat and a Led Zeppelin tape. And she, believe me, she was really grateful for that Led Zeppelin tape. She says she could not have been in any lower of a point in her life, but she made a critical choice, a conscious choice, to start doing a daily gratitude journal. She figured that she had nothing to lose, so every day she diligently wrote down even the smallest things she was grateful for. I forget what songs are on that tape, but I'm sure she appreciated it. According to her, within a few weeks, things started to make a dramatic positive turnaround in her life. And soon unexpected money started showing up in her life. She found a wonderful place to live. And then, this is really cool. I've talked to her about this. She found herself with an extraordinary job flying around the world for a company as their representative, standing on stages before large audiences speaking, living a life that she could only have dreamed of a few months ago when she was living in her car, homeless. And it all started with her being grateful. Anything and everything in her life, and even when she was homeless. There is great power in gratitude. So being truly grateful on a moment-to-moment basis provides an excellent example of just how powerful you are as being connected to all that is. Do not underestimate yourself as a child of God that you are. After all, Jesus stated that there is nothing that he did that you too cannot do, and even greater things. To me, this statement by Jesus is a very, very freeing feeling and knowing. You are far more powerful as a creator than our egoic-driven world has led you to believe. And it can all start with you being grateful for anything and everything in your life. So I suggest that if you haven't already, start your own daily gratitude journal. You don't even have to write it down, just start it up here anyway. Excuse me. Do it first thing in the morning so that it starts the day off on the right foot, aligns you with all that you're grateful for. And by universal law, spiritual law, more of what you are grateful for must be sent to you again. I guess that's spiritual law of attraction right there. And keep repeating your gratitude throughout the day to keep yourself in alignment with this all-important part of your daily life. That's something you can even do while you're driving. You know, somebody cuts you off in traffic, it's easy to get mad and swear at them, but instead say, well, I'm just grateful I didn't get in an accident. You're focusing on the positive of it. Now, on to one of my other favorite subjects, forgiveness. What I speak about here is what I call true forgiveness. Now, how is this different from any other egoic-driven world, the way the world practices forgiveness? Well, the way the world practices forgiveness is actually tied to retribution. Someone may have done something hurtful or mean to you, and you state, I forgive you, all the while holding a grudge in your heart and mind. And that hurt stays there because you haven't really released it. Your words say it, but inside, deep down, you're still unforgiving. From your perspective this way, you stand on higher ground than that person or thing that hurt you, because it can be more than just a person. Your words speak forgiveness, but not your emotions, not your deep unconscious thoughts or feelings of your heart. Consequently, even though you think you're hurting the other person by doing so, you really are only hurting yourself. As those feelings of being wronged and being hurt continue to resonate within your being, and that can never be empowering, only disempowering. This deep-seated grudge sits upon your shoulders like a heavy weight, just a heavy weight that you just can't seem to remove unless you truly forgive. Another example of what you give comes back to you. Now, when you practice true forgiveness based on the unity of all that is an unconditional love, where there can never be any room for grudge, thoughts, or feelings of retribution or inequality, you once and for all have let it go. Which means you've truly forgiven. You've let it go. No more deep-seated, subconscious grudges or hates or judgments. Now, this is a true freeing feeling that will lift that gigantic weight off your shoulders. There's no longer any feelings or thoughts of inequality or hurt, only the knowing that you really let it go and truly forgave. You see that person, place, or thing that you forgave only through the eyes of unconditional love and equality of your Creator. It's kind of like the meditation we did. Now, I believe we all know someone, and it may even be you, who has held on to some form of unforgiveness maybe for decades. And it literally has disempowered them to the point where it not only affects their health, but their mental well-being too. I'm sure we all know people like that. You know, I still have work to do on myself. Now, the way the world practices it, unforgiveness is often a kind of punishment. It can seem like it's directed at someone else, but when you're the one who can't forgive it, it's always you who suffers the most. When you can't be loving, it hurts you, it hurts us. Now, I love these two quotes about forgiveness from Buddha. I don't know if Buddha's ever been quoted in this chapel before, but he is now. Buddha stated, I cannot forgive you because I have no grudge against you. And he also said, to understand everything is to forgive everything. I think we can all understand that much of the chaos and insanity we see in the world on a daily basis stem from some form of unforgiveness. Unforgiveness is a major disempowering factor upon the shoulders of the entirety of mankind. I mean, just watch the news. I think you'll see that right away. The beautiful thing is it doesn't have to be this way. It does not have to be this way. Yes, it's time to practice true forgiveness of everything and anything you perceive in your life, in the world, so you can truly live the life you love and love the life you live. So to close this little talk, this quote from the Modern Spiritual Guide, A Course in Miracles, sums up a moment of true forgiveness. And we'll come back full circle. This is where we started, and this is where we finish. Can you imagine how beautiful those you forgive will look to you? In no fantasy have you ever seen anything so lovely. Nothing you see here sleeping or waking comes near to such loveliness, and nothing will you value like unto this, nor hold so dear. Thank you, everybody. Much love and light to you.
The power of gratitude. Yes. Thank you so much, Karl. Wonderful, inspiring. Thank you very much. We're honored to have you here with us today. And now is the time in our service when we tithe the gift of our treasure. We prosper through the act of giving, just what Karl was talking about, really. Our ministry is supported by your tax-deductible tithes, gifts, and love offerings. We are so grateful for you. We live in an abundant universe. I invite you to affirm with me our offering blessing. I will speak it once and invite you to repeat it. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. Together, divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And you are what? I'm grateful. Right. Every day grateful. Every day grateful. We give, those of you online, you can go to unityofcolumbus.org and click the donate button. And those of you here, our basket is at the back of the room. We give thanks to all of you for being here today. We give thanks to all of you who make this Sunday service the wonderful experience that it is each week. We give thanks for Jim Maneri, and again we give thanks to Karl Gruber. And we just thank the board and everyone. Thank you. We are grateful. Every day grateful. And we have some announcements. Today, of course, we have Karl Gruber building a rock-solid foundation with spirituality and the law of attraction. Yes. That's today at 12:30. Hanging up the greens, holiday decorations after the workshop, okay? And next Sunday, which will be December,
wow.
We have our annual membership meeting.
And then the Friday after that.
And the Friday after that, on December 9th, we got the Christmas concert with Jim Maneri.
It's going to be a good one. It's we have some great professional singers, and it's going to be the debut of the Maneri family band, because my nephew has become such a good drummer that we wanted to do some gigs with him now before he won't hire us anymore.
Yes.
That's wonderful. If you were here, this was right before the pandemic. It was a wonderful concert. If you like jazz, you will love this concert.
Yes.
Okay. Let us stand and affirm our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us.
The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
In closing, let us raise our consciousness, one person, one mind, one heart, one soul at a time. So please join us as we sing hymn number 3, Let There Be Peace on Earth. Let us affirm, I am every day grateful.
I am